Welcome everybody to the LFC Transfer Room YouTube page. My name is Stephen and today we'll be going through the predicted 11 for our Merseyside derby against Everton. So after again another international break where we're going to be playing at 12:30 in the day, yet again for the 16th time, God, I think we've all lost count at this point, for just another 12:30 kickoff. And I know we all hate them. Doesn't help with our South American lads coming back and them only having a couple of days to train. The likes of Darwin Núñez, who's suffered a bit of a muscle strain then a muscle cramp rather, and then the flight home and the long travel to get here, just it doesn't bode well for us, unfortunately. However, we do have plenty of talent and plenty of good players on this team that will be able to help us through this game, and Everton aren't the best side either. So this should allow us to maybe put some players in that we wouldn't have previously and allow us to be a little bit more flexible. We're not having to put out the strongest side and it won't hurt us. However, the next international break against when we come back against Man City, and that being a 12:30 kickoff too, that one's going to hurt us. But I digress. So let's get into this starting 11.
If you're enjoying this video, don't forget to throw a like on the video. Make sure that you like, subscribe, bell notification turned on to never miss an LFC Transfer Room video. We go live at 7:30 every day. We do watch-alongs and we do post-match reactions. So make sure that you never miss out on one of our videos. Now back to the video.
So in goal, I have Alisson. Is there really any other choice? It's probably the only staple of this side that's always going to be there. I don't see anybody else starting ahead of him. I don't see the need for Kelleher. I'm not even sure if his injury is properly healed yet, but I don't see to be honest with you, we could start Pitaluga against these guys and we should still be fine. So I wouldn't necessarily worry too much about it. However, Alisson didn't play for Brazil during the international break as it was Ederson, especially in their final game against Uruguay where they got slapped 2-0 with our own little man star Darwin Núñez bagging a goal and an assist. So that is fantastic for him on his international break. So with Alisson being in goal, I feel that sets us up beautifully to try and go and win this game. He's the best keeper in the league. There's not much more that needs to be said about him, really. Then moving on to our centre backs. This one kind of had me a little bit puzzled purely because I like a lot of pairings. I like a lot of some of the younger players, the likes of Kwanzaa. This would be a perfect game for him to come in. But I think following the game against Spurs and then the draw against Brighton and how that went and how we had certain things disallowed and not happen to us, I think we need to come out and have a get right game, purely where we come into this and we just go and throttle Everton 3 or 4-0, put out as strong a side as possible and get right, which as the name says. So realistically, I think this should be our strongest centre back pairing of Virgil van Dijk and Ibrahima Konate. There's no other reason for anyone else to be in there. Joel Matip doesn't need to be in there. Joe Gomez doesn't need to be in there. Kwanzaa doesn't need to be in there right now. This is a get right game. We need to get this one seriously right. With then the fullbacks role, we obviously have Trent in as our right back. However, an issue comes in when we speak about our left back position, because with the left back position, Andy Robertson could be out for 10 weeks with his shoulder injury sustained at international break. And that's why everybody hates international break. It's just, it's terrible. It ruins it. It ruins so many team seasons. But fortunately, it's part of the game and we have to deal with it and have to get used to it. So it is what it is, I'm afraid. So it's difficult because I would love if Jurgen Klopp played Kwanzaa as a left back or even Joe Gomez to allow Trent to move into his double pivot role and play 3 at the back, very similar to how City do it their way. So with Gvardiol on the left hand side, I'd love to see that. Do I think it's going to happen? No. So for that reason, I'm going to have Tsimikas in there. From open play, he's great. As you've seen, unfortunately, against Ireland, he whipped in a beautiful cross that led to the goal against Ireland. It's his dead ball play that I don't particularly think is all that great. So that, for me, that will be the reason why I wouldn't be so happy with him being there. And obviously, look, Andy Robertson is the best left back in the league, and he has been for quite some time. You're going to miss him, and the drop off after the best left back in the league is fairly steep. It's something that we just have to grin and bear, unfortunately. So with that back line solidified, what I'd like to see would be Kwanzaa, Konate, Virgil van Dijk, and Trent. What I feel we're probably going to see is Tsimikas, Konate, Van Dijk, and Trent in the back line. I'd love to see the three centre backs. I think it would honestly, if ever there was a run of games to experiment on something like this, it's these ones now. However, I don't think Klopp is going to. I think this is, as I mentioned, going to be a get right game where he's going to just turn around and say, put the strongest side that we have out and pump 5 or 6 goals past them if we possibly can, and just have the best team going forward. Then we move on to our midfield, and with our midfield comes more questions, as we have McAllister coming back from, again, South America, along with the rest of the guys coming back from South America, like Nunez, like Diaz. So in our CDM role, I have 2 options that could go in there. And this would really pertain to how McAllister comes back in his training. But an interesting one that I would like to see as the CDM role would be Ryan Gravenberch. He's over 6 foot, he's long, he's rangy, he loves getting a foot in for a tackle. If he has any sort of perception of the game and any sort of anticipation of the game, I feel he could be an absolute star as a CDM, and he's very good at progressing the ball too. Loves to bring the ball with his feet up, so I've no issue with him playing there, especially in a game like this. Alternatively, if it wasn't going to be Gravenberch, I'd like it just to be Endo. Put Endo in there, and then after 70 minutes, take him off and put McAllister in there and let McAllister run for 20 minutes just to keep the legs warm. That's the way I'd look at it. So what I'd like to see happen is Gravenberch, but what I think is going to happen for our predicted 11 is going to be Endo in there as the 6. Then when it comes to the 2 central midfielders, we're obviously going to have Szoboszlai on the right, and then on the left, if Endo is playing as the CDM, it's going to be Gravenberch, because again, McAllister is away at the moment. I say away at the moment. He's just coming back from international break from South America. It's a long, grueling travel process. It's not fun. So I can see a midfield 3 of Endo, Szoboszlai, and Gravenberch playing this game. I know we hear a lot of shouts for Harvey Elliott and with Curtis Jones being out, but I want to see Gravenberch. I want to see Gravenberch in that 8 role, or in that 10 role, should I say, on the left-hand side, is in sitting there and being able to distribute the ball forward and progress the ball forward and be a threat on the outside of the box to challenge some balls. I'd like to see Gravenberch get a full proper start. In all 3 of his starts so far, he's returned with 3 goal contributions. So it can only mean good things, realistically, in my own head. Then we get to some big news on our front line. On our front line, we've just received news today, and it's been all posted all over social media in the week as of the time of this recording. This is recorded on Thursday evening. So with this, I can see our centre forward striker being Cody Gakpo. He's back at full training, in with the main squad. He's not off to the side like the South American lads just warming up or whatever. He's in the main squad itself with all the guys that have come back earlier in the week from international break. So I think he's a good shout for a start. The issue then becomes the left wing. So there's Cody Gakpo and Diogo Jota. Between the 2 of them, they could play either left wing or centre forward, both of them. Cody Gakpo is not his position prior to joining Liverpool. He played on the left wing quite a lot. Jota seems to be just a fantastic goal poacher up the middle, so that could work too. So realistically, either one of them could be interchangeable, but how I predict we'll line up and how they'll interchange is different. How we predict we'll line up is Cody Gakpo up the middle and Diogo Jota off to the left, and then maybe throughout the game they'll interswitch and interlink and swap and maybe move positions around, or maybe Jota or maybe Gakpo can drop back in front of the 2 midfielders. Plenty of options there for creativity. And last but not least, it's the other only all-time starter that you don't have a question about unless there's an injury, and there very, very rarely is with this player, is Mohamed Salah, and he's going to be on the right wing. And I see a big game coming from him. I feel like he's ready to explode. He's gotten so many assists. He's gotten so many goals so far this season already. He's on pace for 20 goals and 20 assists again. I can see him coming in and maybe bagging 2 or 3 here. Something that I will note, Darwin Núñez getting his assist and a goal against Brazil on Monday night, Tuesday morning for us over here on Irish and UK time. I can see Núñez maybe coming on for the last 15 minutes and bagging a goal too. So don't count that out either. But yeah, that'll be my starting 11. So let's run down through this starting 11 again for our predicted 11 for the Everton game on Saturday. So in goal we have Alisson. Who else are you going to pick really? It's Alisson or nobody. Then on the right, as a right back, we have Trent. Then as our right centre back, we have Konate. As our left centre back, we have Virgil van Dijk. And as our left back, we have Kostas Tsimikas. I would like us to see Kwanzaa there so we can go to a 3 centre back role and let Trent drift further up the pitch, but I don't think that's going to happen, sadly. Then in our midfield, we're going to have Endo as our CDM because McAllister is coming back from South America after an international break. He's not going to be playing. He may come on for a cameo at the end of the game, but I don't see him coming on starting the game. And then our 2 central midfielders on the left, we will have Ryan Gravenberch. We have calls for Harvey Elliott, but I realistically would just like to see Ryan Gravenberch in that particular role. And then on the right-hand side, we have Dominic Szoboszlai, who I feel might bag a goal or 2 in this as well. I think there's a load of players that are on for a couple of goals in this game. Our front 3 then, we have up the middle, we have Cody Gakpo. On the left wing, we have Diogo Jota. And then on the right wing, we have Mohamed Salah, all of which I feel may bag a goal as well. There's goals in this team in this game, so it's going to be exciting to watch. I don't see us conceding in this game. Stranger things have happened, but I feel like this is going to be a get-right game where we're going to go out and score 3 or 4 and just have a commanding victory and get 3 points going into next week's game and going into some of the Europa League games against Toulouse and then our Bournemouth game in the EFL Cup. And then we have Luton Town as well and Nottingham Forest after that too. So there's a lot of easy games that are going to be coming up that we can get a lot of players going. The likes of the South American guys can get some minutes during the Europa League game if they want as well, keep themselves fit and stuff like that. So I'm not worried about this at all. I think this is going to be a great game, and I think this is going to be a 3-0 victory to Liverpool. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this predicted 11, please do leave a like. If you haven't already, please do subscribe as well. It's free and you can always change your mind afterwards if you want. Make sure you have the bell notification on for all future videos and streams that will be going out. We are live daily from 7:30 p.m. UK time for our live streams, and we also have a post-game stream after the Everton game this weekend, and then we'll have our main stream at 7:30 on Saturday evening also. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any comments that you want to leave down below, suggestions of who you think I got right, who you think I got wrong, or who you would like to see in your starting 11, and possibly some other video ideas that you'd like to see us do, put them in the comments below and we'll be sure to have a look at them and get back to them. Thank you guys so much, and I hope everybody has a wonderful day.